we got a few things to talk about today. Okay, there's some news coming out of the EPCOT area resorts. We have some really interesting stuff coming out of Epic Universe. I do want to touch on Cake Bake again. There are some additional thoughts I'd like to share with you and a few more little surprises, some special little treats that I want to discuss. So get your stuff, let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Disney Springs. I know we were just here, at least briefly, but I got some other things I want to do here today and taking you along. So let's get down there, get through security, and yeah, you know, do what we do. Hang out, have a great day, enjoy the beautiful weather. It is beautiful today. I also heard that there's some M&M thing happening today. I don't exactly know what that means, but we'll check it out together. All right, so we just got down the escalator and I already see the M&M's thing. It's the M&M's suite tour. What exactly is going on here? So it looks like they have like a stage area that they're calling a photo booth. You might be able to take a photo over there. They have some candy as well. I stood there for a second. They don't seem to be doing anything right this second. Maybe it's because it's a little early. We'll pop in on our way out, but for now, let's keep wandering around. Today, I think we're gonna start by heading this direction because we didn't come down this way earlier or yesterday. Sorry, I just got distracted by these Crocs. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I think they just opened up. We gotta go check these things out. I'm not a Croc girly, but wow, guys. These Crocs are wild. We've got Woody over here. Even says Andy. We've got Buzz, also says Andy. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. We have to see if there's anything on the back. No. Oh my God, that's so cute. And then of course there are Pizza Planet ones over here as well. They're cute. $69.99, by the way. $79.99 for those. I'm not entirely sure why there was a difference in price because they both kind of looked the same, but I don't know. Would you get those? Are you a Toy Story fan? And if you would get them, which ones would you get? Like I said, I'm not really into Crocs, but I do think that they're all cute. Personally, if my budget allowed, I would buy the Woody and the Buzz Crocs and wear one of each. But let me know what you would do. So like I said, there are a few different things that I want to talk to you about today across both Walt Disney World and Universal. Let's start with this Disney World news though, because there's some, well, it's kind of Disney World news. It's like that gray area news that's at Walt Disney World on Disney property, but not technically Disney news. And that is updates coming to the Swan and Dolphin over in the EPCOT area. Where are my benches? We were gonna sit here on the benches, look out, and talk a little bit about this, but I guess we're just gonna have to keep moving. Oh well. So it was recently announced that the Swan and Dolphin, which are hotels we usually refer to as gray area hotels. They're not owned and operated by Disney, but they are located on Disney property. It was announced that they're gonna be undergoing a pretty big, pretty pricey transformation. And by pretty pricey, I mean to the tune of like $275 million. From what I've seen, this is also gonna include an expansion, so that's really interesting and it's pretty exciting news. Now, we are big fans of the Swan and Dolphin for a few different reasons. First of all, location is key. You guys know that we love the hotels in that EPCOT area, hotels like Boardwalk Beach Club, Yacht Club, Swan Dolphin and Swan Reserve. They fit within that category as well. Not only are you walking distance from Boardwalk and all of the entertainment and dining available there, you're also walking distance from Beach Club, Yacht Club, those dining options, as well as 2 theme parks, which is a pretty sweet deal if you ask me. But despite the fact that you are right there in that hub of Disney Deluxe and Disney Vacation Club resorts, you're not paying Disney Vacation Club or Disney Deluxe prices. And that's because since the Swan, Dolphin, and Swan Reserve are not Disney owned and operated, they have a different pricing structure. So you tend to be paying quite a bit less. And that's one of the reasons that we always recommend taking a look at Swan and Dolphin if you're wanting kind of the best of everything. You're right there in a fantastic location, you're paying a little bit less, and you know how every time we talk about Disney perks, we always say something along the lines of participating hotels, the Swan, Dolphin, and Swan Reserve, they're included in that. So you not only get that fantastic location at a little bit less than you'd be paying if you were staying at one of the Disney resorts, you're also getting access to things like early theme park entry, extended evening hours for deluxe guests. You have Disney boat transportation to both of the parks. You also have your transportation from the Swan via bus to the other parks, but you can also walk to Disney transportation as well, giving you more options to get back to your resort at the end of the day, which is fantastic. Now the announcement says that we're going to be getting expanded and updated event spaces. They're gonna make those more modern. Of course, the Swan, Dolphin, and Swan Reserve is a convention center. There's a lot of events that happen there all the time, so that's great news. They're also gonna be updating rooms over at the Swan, which have been in desperate need of a little bit of help. I know that one of you actually mentioned this recently when you were talking about staying, I think it was at the Swan, you had a leak issue, and the Swan's been leaking like every time I'm in there over the past couple of years. So it's definitely good that they're actually doing something about this. Now I did take a look at some of the concept art and it looks lovely. It really does. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. By the way, we just walked under this thing and I have to tell you about it because I just learned what this was meant to represent. I forget what I was doing. Was it like the Flavors of Florida scavenger hunt? They had little tidbits about different parts of Disney Springs, and this was meant to be like an elevated train track, which I think is really cool. Of course, you know, Disney Springs has its own story. It's not just a shopping mall, which it sometimes feels like, and there are little things kind of hidden in plain sight that tell that story. So I don't know, figured I'd share that with you. Actually, there's another one over here as well. Can you see it right there? It's kind of in the middle of the screen right now. It currently serves as like shade slash staging area, but yeah, isn't that neat? In terms of timelines for that project, for those of you who are wondering, all I saw is that it's going to be a years-long project. So I don't have a ton of information. I think some of it's going to be starting in 2024 if it hasn't already started. I know we're kind of creeping up on the end of 2024. Some of it is likely to start in 2025. Either way, when I know more info, I'll let you know. Also, as we wander around, if we notice anything, we'll share it with you. Speaking of updates and information, we have to talk about news that recently came out of Epic Universe. It is so exciting, guys. I can't even tell you. So Universal Orlando recently shared some video of animatronics that are going to be in the Dark Universe section of Epic Universe. Now look, I have to be honest with you, when I first saw the images and then the video, I was like, okay, like it looks pretty cool, that's exciting, but this is just like a concept art animation, right? Like this isn't the real thing, because that's what we've been getting out of Epic Universe, which is fine. It's a way to hype people up, but I don't really put too much stock into that type of thing. Like I said the other day, it's not real until it's real, right? But this is real. Now what we're looking at here, this is video and photos of animatronics that are going to be in one of the attractions in Dark Universe. And I have to say, they look absolutely amazing. Now, of course, this is just our first look, right? And it's just a quick clip, but still, I'm super excited. These look very advanced, they look very real, and I'm very much excited for that. The thing that really catches my eye, though, is the Wolfman, because this is very similar to something that we've seen here at Walt Disney World. Yes, those of you who are familiar with attractions here at Walt Disney World know about the Yeti. This was a very advanced animatronic that swung its arm down at guests while you were on Expedition Everest. Unfortunately, they had to stop using it like that because there were issues with the structure of the attraction. I am so excited to see something similar, such an aggressive movement out of an animatronic happening at Epic Universe in this attraction. It's very exciting. And one of the things that I'm also super excited about is that this attraction is going to be similar to Forbidden Journey, which I know some people, they don't like that. It's a KUKA arm attraction. It makes some people really sick. I think the reason that it makes people sick is because of the screens. And I'm sure that this attraction will also have screens, but the fact that there are animatronics gives me a little bit of hope. But look, in that attraction, in Forbidden Journey, you are so close to some of those animatronics. So the fact that these monsters are potentially going to be as close to you as those, you know, dragons and whatever are in Forbidden Journey, this is gonna be cool. Very excited for that. Of course, I wanna hear your thoughts, so pop them in the comments down below. Now, as one more little tidbit about specifically the Wolf Mitten animatronic, I get a kick out of when Universal does things that kind of takes subtle jabs at Disney, and while I can't say that that's what they're doing here, it kind of feels like that's what they're doing here. You know, like doing something that Disney has already done, but hopefully in a way that works better and for longer than what Disney did, you know, like ultimately improving on the technology. It's a fun little back and forth, and I am here for it. By the way, at least one of you has asked me about this. So this is called the Aerophile here at Disney Springs. We'll check out pricing here in a second. It is a balloon. It's not a hot air balloon. It's actually a helium balloon, which I find very interesting and a little bit intimidating, you know, like this bad boy could just float away at any moment. Of course it won't, it's being tied down by so many things, but you know, still. You can absolutely go for a ride in this thing. You buy your tickets here. I don't know how much tickets are. Let's check. I want to say it's like 20 something bucks. Do they have the pricing? No, it's currently closed. They have pins and stuff. You can get your picture taken. Let's look online real quick. Just in case any of you are wondering, so it is available for all ages. You must transfer to a wheelchair, but it is wheelchair accessible. It operates from 9:30 a.m. till 11 p.m. Ooh, a late night flight might be really fun. And it looks like it is $29.99 plus tax for adults, that's 10 and older, and ages 3 to 9 are $24.99. It's not too bad. Know before you go. It says the balloon will not fly during storms or if wind exceeds 22 miles per hour. Bags, beverages, food, smoking, strollers are not permitted in the balloon's baskets. Guests over age 12 are permitted to ride by themselves. However, children under 12 must be accompanied by an adult 18 or older. So now you know. I think it's probably closed today due to wind because it is kind of windy out and it's tucked down low over there. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Also, you do get discounts. I know DVC gets a discount. I don't know if annual pass holders get a discount, so ask about discounts as well. All right, making our way past Gideon's now, and that reminds me that there's something I wanted to talk about regarding our comparison of Gideon's to Cake Bake Shop. Also, if you're wondering, it smells just so much like the most delicious cookies that you have ever tasted right here. Even if you're not a fan of Gideon's cookies, you know the smell of just chocolate chip cookies. Ugh. I know some of you are gonna say, why not go grab one? You're already here, but I am cookie and caked out right now. Like, we were eating Gideon's and Cake Bake Shop cake for the past, has it been like 3 days? So I don't need any more cake right now. But there are some things about our conversation regarding both of those places that I wanted to touch on with you. And the first is to say thank you to each and every one of you who took the time to watch that video and just hear what I had to say about both cake at Gideon's as well as cake at the Cake Bake Shop. You know, reviewing food really isn't something we do all that often. Like, we share our thoughts, but everyone has different feelings about food, you know? Everyone has different things that they like and don't like. So we might share our thoughts, but we never really take the time to sit down and compare and really get into it like we did here. But I did feel like it was an important thing to do, especially given the price point of these two things and how much people are talking about them. It's a lot of money to splurge on, and I want you to have as much information going in as you possibly can. So thanks. Thanks for joining me, and also, thanks for your kind words. So many of you enjoyed that, and I'm glad. But you know, there was something else that was brought up, and I want to take a second to just address it because, you know, I want you guys to know where I'm coming from, and I don't always take the time to share that info with you. And so I figure, why not? We're just hanging out. It's a beautiful day. So one person commented that you could hear the negativity about Cake Bake Shop in my voice right from the start. And then they went on to say that like clearly I am already a fan of Gideon. So basically, you know, I knew who I was gonna like before I even kicked off this review. And I just wanna take a second to let you know that that's not how I do reviews. First of all, I always try to be as open with you as I can. For example, in this case saying, you know, I've had Gideon's cookies before, I've never tried their cake. I want this to be as fair a comparison as it can be. Also, I don't go into any review that I do, even if it's a place that I like, with any favorites in mind. I take a second, step back, and just look at it for what it is. And this is why in the past, you know, you've heard me go to places that I really enjoy and then ultimately give that place a negative review, because it is what it is. And I look at all of the stuff that I'm reviewing, whether it's food or a hotel or an experience, in that way, you know? What is it today? Is this an experience that is good? Why? Is it an experience that's bad? Why? That's what I did in this case. Gideon's, I'd never tried their cake before, so I went into it just, you know, tasting all the different parts separately and then sharing my thoughts with you. I did exactly the same thing for the Cake Bake Shop. And look, this is the type of thing you can expect from me always, because I really think that it's important to be honest. You know, I say that all the time. Honesty and realness is really important to me. I don't lean into negativity. I don't lean into positivity. I just tell it like it is. Also, I'm not trying to get in the good graces of anybody, you know, like I'm not going to say anything hoping that it'll make Gideon's happy or make Cake Bake Shop happy. I'm just, again, telling it like it is. Honestly, there are some of you who love Cake Bake Shop. You've been to Indiana, you love it, you recommended it. I didn't change my opinion because you recommended that. My opinion is what it is. Good, bad, or otherwise, harsh as hell. I don't really have time to butter anybody up. I don't have any interest in buttering anybody up. And I never have for all the years that I've been doing this. But also, there's another thing, since we're right here at Sprinkles, that I wanted to mention. There are two other places that I could compare to both Gideon's and Cake Bake Shop. Sprinkles is one of them, though they offer cupcakes, so it's not quite the same, but I could compare that to both Gideon's and Cake Bake. There's another place here too called Amarette's, which does have red velvet as well as other cakes. They also have expensive cakes. I don't know how much the cake is per slice or how big the slice is. So we could do that too. We could stack Cake Bake, Gideon's, Amarette's, and Sprinkles. Again, Sprinkles isn't really a fair comparison because they're cupcakes, not slices of cake, but you know, there are other options to fulfill your cake needs that we could add to the list. But like I said, I'm caked out right now. Maybe we go the route of doing that here in the future, in the near future, so we remember how every other piece of cake tasted. But let me know if that's something that you are interested in seeing as well. Our choice to stack Gideon's up against Cake Bake Shop also is something that we did because the cake is sold in the same way. They're both serving up cakes with 3 layers, selling them by the slice. So it just seemed like the fairest comparison. I didn't choose Gideon's because I like Gideon's, just made sense for what we were doing. All right, so we've covered the Cake Bake Shop and the Swan and Dolphin update, as well as those animatronics over at Epic. There's only one more thing that we need to talk about, and this isn't as exciting as everything else we've talked about. So, you know, it's probably why it made its way to the end of the list, and that is we now have an address. Okay, this probably is like the most random thing to some of you, but because of some plans that we have in the immediate future, and because some of you have asked us about this, we went ahead and got ourselves a mailbox. Yes, we now have a mailbox. Oh, by the way, Erin McKenna's, I don't know what cake they have, but they could probably be compared against everything else as well. They offer up some pretty good stuff. They are kind of special though, in that they have allergy-friendly offerings, so maybe we add that to the list. Oh my God, we have cheesecake. What is going on? So many delicious options. It's also creeping up on lunchtime, so it smells amazing in here. Anyway, we've got a mailbox, which for most of you you know, whatever. But if you're one of the people who has inquired about a place to send things before, now you got a place. So you can find that information in the description box down below if that's something that is of use to you. If not, you know, it's not. No worries. Oh, check it out. I almost forgot about this M&M thing. Maybe we can get some free candy. That'd be nice. I have to be honest, when I first saw that they were doing something here, I thought it was gonna be more than this. This just looks kind of like a photo op. Of course, I say that not knowing what this type of thing is to begin with. So anyway, ooh, mega peanut M&Ms. Got ourselves some M&Ms. These are just the minis, but it's been so long since I've even held one of these tubes. Should we save some for Russ, or should we do like we did when we were kids and just shoot them? We'll just have to wait and find out how it goes. All right, we've made our way back to the Jeep. Don't worry, I haven't had any yet. I just took the plastic off because of course I need to try them before I go. Haven't even had lunch yet. Not that that's an excuse, but don't worry, I'll save some for Russ. Hold on, let me get you situated. But anyway, I hope that you had a great day hanging out with me, wandering around, hearing about some of this news. I'm very much looking forward to seeing just how all of these things turn out, especially that Epic Universe attraction in Dark Universe. I mean, I'm excited for the whole park, but seeing these animatronics really got me pumped. Also, the news at the Swan and Dolphin, like I said, that's big news, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that turns out, especially because it's likely to improve the experience of guests, right? Like I said, the Swan has been in rough shape for some time now, so hopefully this makes it even better, which is good for everybody, right? But anyway, I think that's about all for now. Peanut butter M&Ms. I never get these. That's the stuff. Anyway, I think it's time for me to head out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time, and I hope that you have a wonderful day wherever it is you are. Until next time, guys. Bye.